Right.
So they need to be able to tap in. Y'all need to grandfather that one in of how much it's costs. So,
I mean, I
and
feel
they don't like my brother either because my brother he sued the town of Burnsville
and then was that successful?
Cause like I told my brother, they not gonna let you. They let him go into federal court, but they not gonna let you win a case if you're not a lawyer. But the town had to get 5 lawyers.
Okay. So I like that route as well. The legal route. We'll lead with that route, just so you know.
My brother would love you because I mean, he went to Grambling State, and he was 1 semester away from 2 degrees economics and whatever. But that's another story. But he gives the town of Birdville a run for their money.
As he should. Yeah.
And he went down there to try to find out. He went down there last week to find out how many white neighborhoods and how much did they charge them to hook up and stuff. Well, we shouldn't have to. People on this street shouldn't have to pay the $18,000 or $28,000. If they don't have water and sewer, it costs them $30,000. And if they don't have sewer, it costs them $18,000. They should not have to pay for that because it should be grandfathered in.
Yeah, I mean, it should be one line.
It should be.
It should be one line for the whole town.
The whole town pays 30, but the whole town did not put this stuff in here.
Gotcha.
They did not put that in here.
So
see, I gave you that information right there.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely.
So it's not that we're getting any pushback from the county, but what we want to make sure is that in terms of the advertisement and what we have available, it's like this is an American holiday and all you people need to be here buying whatever the vendors are selling because it's an American holiday. So that's,
A deal.
schools.
A deal.
Yes, sir.
You know the only people that's gonna come is the people from the county. Christy Dunbar or Keith Dalton, they have never been to any events that we ever
This
had.
might be the time.
We had
to
a
push.
professional down through here.
Push.
Well, William and Mary College,
Okay.
because they got the grant for us to get those small markers and stuff.
Okay.
They never showed
No,
up.
we gotta get some.
They told the whole street. They told the whole story about the street. We have a CD that the older people took when they did the wagon ride and told about the whole street.
Yeah.
So that's a disc. When you say you have a CD, that's like a recording of the wagon. Okay.
Because there was an old man across the street from me. He was like 96 or 97. And he came and sat under the street under the tree. And he said, well, Dee Dee, they only gave me like 6 months to live. I said, so we gonna have to record you all. So we got him and Miss Murbell. She died when she was 100. Mr. Slim, he died when he was 98. Miss Pearl we did the 90-year-olds. So then we had a good time with them.
So our budget at this point doesn't include things like T-shirts or hat bands or even masks, but I would like to have some masks or signs or T-shirts say something like the newest American holiday, Juneteenth. And in red, white, and blue, it's everywhere. I'm sick of these people with these flags. I'm sick of these white boys waving these flags, calling themselves Americans. I'm sick of it. Between the Buffalo Soldiers, how they treated the guys when they came back from World War I, Red Summer 1919, they hung these guys for wearing their uniforms. Oh, anyway, there I go.
So we supposed to have Buffalo Soldiers.
We agree. We agree. So, first of all, y'all want to say anything?
Yeah, I got a few questions if you don't mind. So I think I have 3 questions. One is, so in business, like we do something called like a SWOT analysis, like strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And so I think that's what this sort of conversation has. A lot of it's I haven't even had to ask because y'all are just going about all the details. But I would say now, what do you think like the main strengths of the town are?
Of the town?
Of this of
the community?
Well, of the community and also the community. I would say the community, not the historical aspect, but just like what makes it competitive or what makes it why would people come here?
That's a good question.
The Historical Society, they always said that more people visit this museum then visit their museum. Although they have events up there in Millwood at the mill and all that stuff. We just haven't been doing events because all of our members are kind of older now. So Miss Davis, she was supposed to come here. She was the first, she was the president, but she couldn't make it because she's on Zoom calls.
85.
And she's in her 80s. But she's very active. I mean, you know, she's very active.
I believe it.
And then I was gonna call Miss Geneva up the street that she has her own catering business, but she's not gonna be. She said she probably won't do it this year.
What type of business you said?
Catering.
Catering. Okay.
Catering.
All right.
Yeah.
Got you. She cooked.
Ham biscuits and all that stuff.
Yeah, so we'll definitely need that for the celebration.
Well, part of the auction would be at least something that she cooks, so we definitely got that.
But she was gonna come down here today, but she gotta come down a whole bunch of steps. So she was gonna come at 11 o'clock, 11:30, but I told her she wasn't here.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So she had went to the store, so I don't like her to pick on down the steps and stuff. Cause see, I gotta take care of my seniors on the street.
Oh, 100%.
I gotta take care of them.
And we don't
mother's
mind.
90. She's 90, and she had a stroke like 7 years ago. She's on the 3-prong pain, but she came for the stuff to be in. But she can talk to you.
Yeah, and we don't mind coming to them to talk. You know what I mean? Because we would like to definitely capture their experiences on camera as well and get their point of view. But that time will come.
I would love for you all to meet Ms. Ball, but I don't even go visit her that much because she haven't had her shots, and I don't want to go in there and say that she might got something for me.
Gotcha.
Now, the larger community, if it had some pluses, it would be that there are a lot of young white people, and I say white because I don't see a lot of the young blacks, and mostly from here, like the Bankses, that are probably more educated and a little more open to things.
Oh, well, I can call my posse in, because see, I got some posse.
I don't see them.
My niece is in Maryland, my nephews is in D.C.
So we got some diversity,
and
which is pretty good for
their
us.
parents got a farm and all that stuff, and they up here quite
So there's
often.
that.
You know, we got to call our posse in.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta do that. I was gonna so I guess to piggyback on that question, when we talk about like farming and land and like what are some of the like what is the industry and what are some of the more notable, you know, I guess farming products? You know, what do you guys produce? What was mostly produced here?
Oh, well, that farm right over here, Claremont, but they got cattle and
Yeah, mostly cattle, a lot of cattle.
Olive Farms.
Olive Farms, which used to belong to George Washington, which quite frankly is one of the places that I want to sue because if he owned it, I mean, you know slaves worked it, so some of that's ours. A lot of small businesses are cropping up out in the counties. What do they call boutique grocers? They're growing, you know, things like that. So, and there is ample opportunity because people that are in on we call the other side of the mountain don't know about all the open air freshness that's out here. So you can send your produce to DC or whatever. So I would say boutique gardening and farming.
And I know the ground is rich because my uncle used to come from Pittsburgh, and our yard is nothing but rich black dirt. He said because that's all there was big old garden and all this stuff.
So
I had my first garden, but I'm not having no more garden.
Yeah, I don't have the finger. I ain't got it.
It's a lot of work, but
Yeah.
So what you want to see?
What I want to see?
Yeah.
So one of the things my family we own a newspaper in DC. It's called the Washington Informer. So it's DC. You know, it was started by my grandfather. We're in our 67th year of business, and you know, we put together a African American history tour every year. We've been doing it for I want to say maybe over 15 years now. You know, and so I was thinking that maybe we could turn this into a destination for our African American history tour, but. You know, I was trying to figure out like how many stops, you know, or how many, you know, sites and stuff like that.
There is another museum in the plains, which is closer going east. That's been in operation for years and years. There's an organization in Leesburg. So I mean, there's lots of little spots, but we're just kind of, far flung. And again, because of COVID, nobody's really been going anywhere to do any kind of visitations. But even something like a video that you guys could produce of the plains, the Alexandria Museum, something like that would be cool. And then the schools would have no excuse not to put the video in and play it. I mean, I taught in this county I'm from Philadelphia originally.
Oh,
30 years. Get out of here.
My father's from Philadelphia.
You too?
My dad,
My dad too, yeah.
What about you? Where you from?
Oh, I'm from DC, but my grandma and grandpa just moved from Philly, so they've been living there for like decades. So
I love it. We gotta represent.
Absolutely.
Really, because coming down here like, you sons of bitches, you're still fighting the Civil War. What's wrong with you? The schools in Virginia were literally closed because they wouldn't want to integrate. Closed.
Oh yeah, the one in Warren County, it closed all the way down. So the people from Warren County, like Front Row, they had to come to that school.
So it's pretty tough.
This is a very prejudiced town.
Yeah.
Nah, I can feel it and tell.
Because Christy's not going to tell you too much.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
She got
I did that. So I just did that
Gotta keep it straight and narrow,
I did that as a
Courtesy call.
a courtesy call to let her know that I'm coming. So
I get there because,
absolutely.
And they don't want none of this to really,
Happen.
Get out.
paper and stuff, because they get really nervous.
Yeah,
Really,
but
let's make them know.
They get nervous. They do.
So we so the Washington Informer, we're part of a trade association called the NNPA, National Newspaper Publishers Association. It's over 200 black-owned newspapers across the country, and so and it's headquartered in DC. Our president is Dr. Ben Chavis. I'm not sure if y'all familiar with him.
I've been around a while.
Yep. Yeah, me and Dr. Chavis, we talk all the time. Definitely a huge resource for the things that I'm into. If we came here for our African American History Tour, we would bring, we charter some buses, bring people down here, get them to see a couple sites, and explain the narrative to them, and then also maybe stop, get some food, support the local economy.
There's plenty of those around.
And then we would
I don't buy food in early.
well, I'll eat whatever you eat. You let me know. If you don't trust it, I don't trust it. But
Oh no, I'm not saying I don't trust it. But if you tell me how many people, we got 2 caterers on the street.
oh yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, like I said, we just
There's that business.
exactly.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, we want to support the economy. I mean, when we come to a spot, it's like we want to come and spend some money, buy some tinkered things, or whatever people are into, infuse some monies into the space. But after that, that would also we would also have reporters with us, so they could do interviews and they could, take photos and video, and it, potentially a bunch of content could be produced out of that tour.
Yep.
That could be, distributed throughout the newspapers and perhaps become a national story. But I would wonder, not the history itself and the Juneteenth celebration probably seems to be, what the story might be about. But then the things that you guys are talking about, like the threats that are happening in the community and what you want to see going forward, and maybe, what the plan could be, or some of the issues that you're dealing with, we would love to just sort of learn more about that and, highlight that in potentially a few different stories, because every newspaper has their, angle or whatnot, So we would try to figure out what the angle could be for each, that could benefit the publications, but also that could, benefit the community.
I think a big story would be our veteran statue in the middle of town.
That's one.
So you was just talking about that. We didn't see any flags, but
They got the statue, and I went to a meeting. I always pop in on a meeting. No, this a couple months ago.
Okay.
No, less than a month ago. When the board of supervisors, chairman of the board of supervisors, he sat up there and said they had $100,000 budget for the statue or whatever. So I called him out because they wasn't letting nobody talk. So I called him after the meeting. I said, so you mean to tell me you got $100,000 in the budget for that monument down there? I said, did they lose that war?
Wait, so this $100,000 was for the preservation of the statue?
No,
or?
no.
They're supposed to be
We
putting
went
up, they're
step
supposed to be putting up another statue.
Representation.
Yeah, like the union guys.
Because there were lots of unions.
Black
USCT
union guys in
from here.
Clark County.
I worked for the city of Alexandria for about 4 or 5 years in the tourism, and yeah, that was the time when this issue became popular, and we had to deal with the what are they called, the Daughters of the Confederacy, and try to get all these monuments taken down, and slowly but surely they've been removing them, but it was an uphill battle for sure.
But they say they don't own it. The county don't own it, so they supposed to be going to court so they can get ownership of it.
Which if they had listened to me when this issue first came up, which you have eminent domain, what's the big deal? The people that put it up there were private citizens, none of whom were around. Black people have been paying county taxes
To preserve
since that
it.
crack was up in the middle of the town square. I said, no, it's gotta go, it's gotta go. We'll have a committee in the community, and unfortunately, that veered towards what's called recontextualization.
Well,
Did I say that right?
Yeah, but anyway, they had people on the committee, but they knew who to put on the committee. They had 3 black people on the committee.
I declined to be on it because I ain't
2
thinking
people
about
wanted
it.
the monument to stay up, and only 1 guy wanted it. So
The black people wanted to stay up too?
those 2 they had on the committee.
And this is America, and people are allowed to have different views. And
Certainly.
from what I read, it was like preserve the history, remind us where we've come. There's a whole
Yeah,
lot
but
of
see, they know who to put on those committees, because they get those tokens of their appreciation.
Exactly.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah, and they
That's
cutting
how-
deals
that's
in the
how
back
it is
room
on
and
the town
everything else.
council, and that's how it is on the planning commission. So they don't let us know anything. So I had this one lady, she's mad at me now, but it don't make no difference.
Is our president warranted at these meetings?
Huh?
your presence.
Yeah.
I don't know, it depends, Judy, on these meetings.
Oh, when they get ready to start, because, see, when they get ready to start doing those public hearings and stuff, they'll put a blurb in the paper, the public hearing, about if they want to demolish these houses and stuff.
Okay.
That'll come through it goes through the planning commissioner first. Then the planning commission takes it to the town, and then the town will vote on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we need to be here for that, huh?
Right.
And if they allow, because every meeting that's held is not always open for speakers, am I right? Because I don't.
Public
look at
hearings,
it.
you got 3 minutes,
3 minutes, okay, so.
whatever. Then somebody else can give you.
I just, give my tax money back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
See,
mean,
I go to the town meeting just because. So I didn't go to the town meeting Tuesday, but I pulled up their agenda, and then I got a text. They didn't talk about the blight on Josephine
Okay.
at the meeting.
I was on the
Every
other.
Tuesday, or is it?
No, it's the second Tuesday of every month.
Are there any large? Sorry,
7
excuse me.
o'clock.
Are there any large, like, not large per se, but are there entrepreneurs? Is entrepreneurship a thing in this area? And are there any black entrepreneurs that of influence? Like in DC, you have the city council, you have the all that stuff. Like, is there?
No.
Who are the?
Well, we got a lot of people from Burrville that have their own business, but they in Winchester.
Okay.
Say like my niece, she had her beauty shop for 30 years,
Wow.
and she's just turned 52. But she didn't. They went to Winchester.
Okay.
When you were over here before, did you go through town? Did you see Berryville?
I have.
This is my first time here.
Yeah, these are their first time here. That's why we're here.
My
They
first time I
got
went
get
through.
lost.
No, we use GPS, so we got right here to the circle, and then yeah.
I was right behind me. That's
okay.
Wow.
Sure.
Cause see, like Lucy, we have that what's the name? Lucy Slow.
Lucy did
Yeah,
slow the fall.
yeah.
We have her
Great
statue because they got in contact with me. So
Yeah.
Morale wanted to put it downtown.
So yeah, that's the second part of this whole thing is bringing the D9 community out here.
The Greeks.
The Greeks.
Yeah.
I'm a part of the committee
The
of
fraternity, okay.
Mhm.
fraternities and
Okay.
sororities.
And the sorority.
You know, I know a lot of AKAs,
Mhm.
and you know, I'm not sure if they even know that she's here.
Yeah, it's like so I went to Howard.
That's right, Howard.
No, they the ones that did it.
They
So
don't
they,
really
yeah,
know.
yeah,
So,
they know. Mhm.
It was,
and
lady
I would love to
named
bring
Linda.
my other partner. He runs the Black Greek Festival, so you know we'll definitely bring that community
Mhm.
here as well. For that reason, so you know, we want to make it as big as possible. Obviously,
Have the three of you all read Ta-Nehisi Coates' book, Between the World and Me?
Yeah.
I just watched the film the other day. It's amazing.
have you?
Yeah.
Like you should ever.
We're trying to get him
Yeah.
involved because he brought out the point that black people don't go near these Civil War battlefields. Of course we don't.
Right.
We're not mentioned.
Mhm.
So he was saying if we represented at these places and asked the right questions, some of this garbage about the glorious war and who shot who means nothing
Will be
unless you talk
debunked.
about what the war was fought for.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And forget the glory and the columns and the crap. Enough of that. Because we've got buried in his backyard a spy,
Yeah.
Thomas
Right.
Laws.
He's right over there.
Right over there.
Wow.
So even in the school books, they don't even talk about any kind of resistance. I know because I've had, you know, several series of history books being taught down here. Never any talk about black resistance, not only black accomplishments. There's no talk about it. We were just enslaved, and then everything was okay because you got your rights.
Right. No, that wasn't.
Yeah, it's
So
great.
what kind of business you all want to see down here? See, Josephine used to have their own business.
Literally.
So the
Oh,
businesses that I was thinking, and fellas definitely chime in, you know, juice bars,
Nope.
hydroponic gardens,
My son is doing it.
barber shops,
My nephew.
creative spaces.
We do have a barber shop.
Okay, creative spaces for entrepreneurs, rental properties. What else?
So I was thinking about, you know, just industry, you know, so like you're hour outside of the city, outside of DC. So, you know, my brother, like for instance, he's an entrepreneur. He has a candle making business. And so I was telling him, you know, imagine that, you know, you could, you know, have some type of workshop or warehouse or whatnot, you know, where you could, you know, people in this economy could have a job, but then they could also be helping you to supply, you know, your candles, you know, like, and then that's just one example of a product, but any type of product, like anybody making, and he was also telling me that there's a lot of focus here around, like, what is it, like textiles and like
Handmade things.
yeah,
he was saying,
builders, granite cutters,
Mhm.
countertops.
See, we have
Flowers.
an empty lot over there. The JIA have an empty lot over there. And we was trying to get a pavilion. Just a
Okay.
pavilion. Well, they blocked that downtown.
So
we
that-
wanted to put a building because I told them over here, the county owns that. So I told them that we have to go all the way to Winchester.
Yeah.
We used to go to Lee Jackson and you could get the building for free, but they didn't turn that all over to Shenandoah. So when we have our reunions and stuff, you know, class reunions and stuff, we shouldn't have to go out of.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. How can we get that back? In your opinion?
You have to talk to my brother.
Okay. Yeah, I
Because
think.
my brother is, he said that we need to get all our stuff back.
Yes.
And I mean, see, because Morale say they own this building right here. So Morale, she's a good person,
Good person.
but then you have to correct her on some history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Anthony,
I,
Yeah, you already know.
No, I
All right, no, that's what
it's
I'm
from
doing.
her, yeah. It's from her perspective, but I agree with you. You shouldn't have to leave the street to do anything of a celebration, and I think that would be a perfect place for our Juneteenth celebration. And you know, I know they want it at the fairgrounds, but between now and then, I would definitely like to connect with your brother to see what we can do about putting something there because it's ready. It's ready to be built
yeah,
on.
because one time they said it was gonna add more apartments, so I told them
Yeah.
no. But that's they senior citizens.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
don't know.
For sure.
So then I told them, I said, well, this is what you need to do. You need to add something really big on it, because we need our commercial kitchen, we
Yep.
need our ballroom, we need
Correct.
we need
Amphitheater.
Yeah.
We need all of that.
Yeah.
We need so yeah, we just need the spaces to create it.
Well, certainly for 2023, if this one goes off, it goes well, that's something to plan for
Yeah, for sure.
2023.
Oh yeah, because we were supposed to have our reunion this year, 2022, but because of COVID,
Yeah.
you know, we usually have like 200 or 250 people,
Mm.
you know, because the people come back home.
And that's where at the fairgrounds, or that's over here?
That's way in.
You know, we
Okay.
had to take it in
Winchester?
Winchester.
Okay.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's the one I don't like that. Yeah.
How does that event usually go? It's pretty, like what type of activities are y'all?
We have our little band, and then they talk about the, whatever.
People come dressed, I've been there,
Oh,
I
yeah,
haven't
yeah.
even gone to school there, went to Girls High, but, been to the reunion.
See, and I sell the most tickets.
Yes, she does.
There you go.
Yes, she
Yeah,
does.
we definitely need you. We
Oh,
can't.
no, I mean, then they say, oh, but I asked somebody about a ticket, and they said, oh, I already got it from me. I said, because you want to procrastinate. I turned my little book, and I said, you want to get your ticket.
No, 100%.
It's gonna take you guys at least an hour, maybe 2 hours to get back. I don't know if you
Yes.
like driving in the dark, but
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can.
you ready?
Yeah.
If-
So I'm
Okay.
gonna go and give you my brother's telephone number.
Please.
And if you all would like to come out to the farm?
Yeah.
Certainly.
Farm.
Oh yeah.
What are y'all doing at the farm now?
It's one of those long stories, darling. Basically,
Okay.
my husband's
She's my rich
uncle.
friend.
No, baby. No, you know what? He's in vulnerability. So when COVID struck 2 years ago, he got out of Centerville and he's living out in my husband's uncle's farm who died, but he's doing no-till methods. He's doing, selling things to the Hill High restaurant. You'll pass on the way back and,
Hey, where should we eat before we get out of here?
I'm sorry, girl, what did you say?
Oh, y'all trying to get Burville?
Wherever you think we can get a good meal.
That's gonna be a short trip. There's, of course, there's McDonald's. I mean,
No, McDonald's, and then they got the grill and
I don't know.
Mario's. And,
Yeah, nah, we want to eat something where somebody made it. We don't want to eat nothing where it's like it
I
came.
don't know where you're gonna get that.
There isn't one.
Oh wow.
There really isn't.
We got a lot of work to do.
Yes, we do.
See, if y'all had
Ladies.
gave me advance notice.
Gotcha, do.
Could have had your folks cook whip some. So you would have had your people whip something up for us.
Excuse me, I can cook myself.
Oh, excuse me.
You look like you
Yeah.
cook. I can tell. Get that vibe.
Yeah,